It is now my honor and my pleasure to introduce Stacey Snider, the co-chairman and CEO of DreamWorks Studios. Gary Foster asked her to present the Beatrice Stern Media Award to him because she backed the movie The Soloist from the very beginning. Pitching a film about a homeless man living on Skid Row with untreated schizophrenia must have been a hard sell. But Stacey immediately wanted to be part of the project, and she didn't just support it from behind her desk. She actually went out to Skid Row to get to know Nathaniel and the rest of that community, and that tells you a lot about her. Before joining DreamWorks, Stacey wouldn't have been president of TriStar or chairman at Universal Pictures if she didn't know how to make money. But some of her investments reveal her soft spot for underdogs with pictures like Aaron Brockovich, Ray, Seabiscuit, and Brokeback Mountain. Those films attest to her belief that there's an audience for stories with a conscience. Stacey's perspective definitely is wider than the camera. She serves on the board of several nonprofit organizations, including the Special Olympics. And one more thing. After Beyonce and a sci-fi film beat out The Soloist on opening week, Stacey told Gary that they'd made the picture that they believed in, and that's what really mattered. Nonetheless, I hope and believe that The Soloist has legs just like Seabiscuit. So please welcome Stacey Snider.
Thank you, Gary, for that really kind introduction, and thank you all for having me here. It's been such a really inspirational afternoon, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. When Gary Foster first pitched The Soloist to us, he saw it as a story of a unique and touching friendship. And before we dim the lights to show a clip from the movie that Gary selected for us, we have a special guest who I'd like to introduce and who'd like to share a few words with us. It's Steve Lopez. Steve Lopez was the LA Times columnist. Steve wrote the columns and the book upon which this movie is based, and we're so happy that he's here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to say a few words. Stacey will be back up here soon. I'm sorry I got here late, and I apologize for having to leave early. But Friday is a tough day for me. We're in the middle of this city attorney campaign. I'm right in the thick of it. And deadlines come up early. The Sunday deadline comes up early on Friday, so I've got to make my way back to the office. I want to say that when I got involved in this little project here, I should confess, I had no idea what a producer really does. I'm sorry if there are producers out there in the audience who are offended by that, but I just didn't know. Now I know what a producer does on a movie, and the answer is everything. It's been amazing to watch Gary work. We've known each other now for a couple of years, and he really does everything. And I'm standing up here because Gary didn't just make a movie. He made some friends. And on behalf of Nathaniel Anthony Ayers, I want to thank Gary for his approach on this movie. And what we see on the screen in the theaters these days is the movie that Gary told me he wanted to make. A movie about this relationship, a movie about courage, about friendship, about hope. And what Gary did was to make a commitment, not just to this movie, but to the community that Mr. Ayers lives in. And they pretty much set up shop in downtown Los Angeles. They got to know the people at Lamp Community. They got to know Nathaniel and his many companions down there. And this film, I think, in some ways, is a tribute to them. And what Gary has learned, and I won't speak for him, is what I've learned in the last 4 years since I met Nathaniel. And that is that organizations like Didi Hirsch, like Lamp Community, are doing a great service to all of us. We know what works. We know how to help people. And the success stories at a place like Didi Hirsch are just astounding. And when you support these efforts, you help rescue our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters. Gary has found that out and has made what I think is a lasting commitment to the cause, and it's a commitment that will change many lives for years to come. And I thank him for his friendship and for understanding this relationship with Mr. Ayers and representing it up on the screen. If you haven't seen the movie yet, and even if you have, I think it's playing in a theater near you. See it a few more times. And here's a little tease for it. We've got a clip for you.